Joey, you and your parents and your sister just went to Bolivia for a trip a couple of years ago to spend some time in the country. Tell me a little bit about your trip and what you saw.
Well, in December of 2009, we went to Bolivia, and we were going to stay with Mano a Mano, and we went around mostly near Cochabamba to different places where they had constructed schools and clinics, and different water reservoirs and dams and roads, and we saw all the different projects that Mano a Mano's done. And, it was completely amazing. It blew me away. I didn't really know that people could be this poor down there. And I was, very happy and grateful for all the work that Mano a Mano's done. So I had a great trip down there, and we saw a lot of cool stuff.
So when you were traveling, Joey, tell me a little bit about when you were interacting with, you saw some of the children in the different communities. You probably saw them in the fields. You probably saw them in the schools. You probably saw them in the clinics. Any conversations that took place that made an impact on you in particular?
Well, we went to their hometown, Segundo's hometown, and we went to this school, and they had a soccer field, just kind of concrete soccer field, and Ivo went and took my parents and my sister on a tour with Segundo, and so I hung out with these three kids who were just hanging out at the soccer field, and so I introduced myself, and they had, when I walked up to them, they had this look on me. It was a confused look, and they were, like, why do you come down here to see me? I mean, don't you have anything better to do up in the U.S.? And, after I introduced myself and said that I was here to visit, they thought I was all cool, and so we started playing soccer on the field, and with a 2-liter bottle of Coke, and, these guys had adapted to it, so they knew how to do it, and I learned, and I had a lot of fun, and then they realized I spoke English. And so they started asking me, what their name was in English. So he said, what's your name? And he would say, oh, my name's Roberto. And then I said, okay, your name's Robert in English. And, the kid was just so happy, and he started bragging to all of his friends that he had the name Robert. And then after we hung out a bit, we went back to the one kid's house, and his dad was a leader in the town. And so Segundo and Dad and my sister and Mom and Ivo had all come back, and they were with the house talking. And so I went into his house, and it's just like all the other houses there. And then I thought of my house. And I mean, my house, 2-story colonial brick house with a flat screen TV and a Wii in my own room. And his house had no roof. And so, that made me think of just, how little money they have down there and how much they need our help. And so, that kind of shocked me, and I was very struck by that. And so then I saw this work that Mano a Mano's doing, and the school was I think the only brick building, or one of the only brick buildings in that whole town. And the rest was kind of sod or, just some other material that they used to build the houses, but that school looked the newest, and so yeah, I mean, that was, and I can think, oh yeah, Mano a Mano did that, and I'm so proud of them, and that's such a cool thing that they're doing.
Did the kids in Bolivia, did they inquire about your kind of life? Did they ask you for questions about what does your house look like? What kind of place do you live?
Well, in the same place, they kind of asked about, how big is my school, or what's my name, where do I live, what are my friends' names. Some of the kids, when I first went up, they kind of shied away, because, if you live in Bolivia, and, I mean, you've never seen an American person in your life, and they come up, it's kind of, you're like, whoa, and, they kind of shied away, but after, I was nice, and they would ask me questions like that, like where do we live, and I told them that I had a TV, and they had no idea what that was. They were like, kid? And they didn't really know what a TV was. So, they would ask me that kind of stuff, but they wouldn't get super, super detailed, so they just asked me basic stuff.
Did they tell you a little bit about what they do every day?
Yeah, we went into the Yungas part, and we went into a school we talked to this girl, and each day she had to walk 2 miles with her baby sister on her back to get 2 buckets of water and then walk back to her house. And, a couple kids, you could see them, and when their dads were out working in the fields, they would be out there helping them in whatever project they had to do. They would go out and help. I mean, I do the chores around the house, and sometimes I help my dad on projects, but these guys were like doing the work. Like they were actually like planting and harvesting and growing these plants, like stuff I would never do because I don't do that kind of stuff. I mean, I live in America, so yeah, they'd tell me like what their daily routine is. Some of the kids I asked, so back in their hometown, those kids, I asked, what do you guys do every day? And they told me they got up and they, did a lot of chores, went to get some water, and, they did a lot of chores all day. And then, that was on the weekends, and then they did in school. But, it's chores till school, school, chores all the way till bed. So you might get an hour or two for play, but that's about it.
So what impact did it make on you, Joey?
Well, the schools had the biggest impact on me because I was looking at these schools and all these kids, and I thought, well, they're just like me. They're kids just like me. They live in Bolivia, but they're kids just like me. And so they deserve an opportunity to become what they want to become. So, like, I want to become an eco-friendly engineer or, something big. And most kids here take that opportunity and they become what they want to be. Some kids don't take the opportunity. The kids down in Bolivia, they want the opportunity to do that, but they don't get it. So Mano a Mano is helping them do that. I mean, because boy, for example, goes to school, and then when he's done, he knows simple math and stuff, but there's not much he can apply that to. He just goes back to working, doing farm work like his father had and grandfather had in generations before. So, Segundo came out and did something different than his family had done ever before. He went to America and started Mano a Mano. And now he's giving these kids a chance to be like he was when he was a kid. Now these kids can go on and actually, they can be a teacher, or they can be a nurse, or a doctor, or, a leader. And so that's what Mano a Mano is doing, is in the schools, and they're giving these kids an opportunity to fulfill their dream.
What message, Joey, do you want to give the children of the United States? What do you want to tell them?
I want to tell the kids of the United States that there is a way you can help. You don't have to sit there awestruck. I mean, yes, you can for a couple minutes, but these kids, they need help. So you just go to the Mano a Mano website, and you can donate money. That helps them a lot. Just a penny can buy them a pencil for school. And so if you help and give money, which is what I'm trying to do, just give money, and I donate money if I can, when I can. And so I'm trying to do a project right now by raising enough money for one school throughout with immersion schools, Spanish immersion schools throughout the Twin Cities. So we're going to try to raise money for a school.
So tell me what your dream is if you raise the money.
When we get the amount of money, I want to go back and present the money to Mano a Mano down in Bolivia, and I want to go to wherever they're going to build this school and, watch the inauguration of the school. And that would just fulfill my dream. And then I would want to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and, as much as I can, because these kids need help. So, maybe someday they can do that kind of stuff. Maybe help out a neighboring town. Because there's so many towns around Bolivia. I mean, Mano a Mano, it'd take a long time for Mano a Mano to get to every single town in Bolivia. So that's what I want to give those kids opportunity.
So we have a lot of work to do, don't we?
Oh, yes, we do. But we have Mano a Mano to help, and it's better than having nobody to help. So that's thanks a lot to Mano a Mano to just start this up, and it's just going to keep going.
Thanks, Joey.
Thank you.